sadhana, it seems like it's a very personal, intimate choice. It's very unique to you. That's the best thing. I find that the awakening process is not now you're going to be like everybody else. No, you're going to be more you, more you. Even though we say, well, this is my ego, this is my individual self, right? Is not the cosmic self, but yet the process makes you yourself more your uniqueness, and that is probably one of the most fun things. And there's so much paradox in the path, which for me, because it's my tendency, is I experience it as eros, as a love affair, and as a give and take, and a just a communication between the self and the cosmic lover. And I also find that Shiva is just stands in for the formless absolute, and is willing to take any form that you particularly think you like in order to have the relationship. And I think all of the speakers have talked about relationship. There's a consciousness. The universe is aware. It's waiting lifetime after lifetime for you to recognize and to have the relationship, So, and how I integrate. So these guys are all disciplined, and even though I lived in the ashram, Baba used to say this thing. He'd say, if you have a dog with a curly tail, I know you guys remember this. Well, you can put the tail in a tube and it'll straighten out. But when you take the tube away, it goes back to the curl. I think some of you people who remember Baba talking about that. And that's kind of like me. I mean, I was very disciplined in the ashram. I chanted every chant because my sort of addictive tendency, it was like I wanted more of this ecstasy. I couldn't get enough. And Baba sort of recognized that about me, I think. And I felt like he was drinking me under the table. Of course, I never had any alcohol in the 5 years. I'm not interested in those things. But, he was like, he says, oh, you want to go? You're a space cowboy? Well, let's go, And we went, man. What makes the Shakti flow for me is I do meditate because I love to taste the love affair, with the divine. And I also chant the Guru Gita and I find if you're like me, and all this time I've been doing it, 40 years, my mind's still very active, still goes places where it's not going to lead me in good places. The Guru Gita is a meditation where you don't have to sit with your eyes closed, and it's the sound body of the Guru. It's a channel of grace. If you want your Shakti awakened, you got to open the door. Larry was saying, you have to ask, and that's the only qualification. Jesus said it too. Ask and the door will be open. Knock and the door will be open. Ask, So Guru Gita, chanting, meditating are ways of asking. And I know you do them because almost everyone here is a practitioner. And so when my life gets negative, I'm used to being in a state of joy, So I will step up my practice, if I find that I'm not in a good place, because you begin eventually to identify with that joy. So what I do is when we're talking about opening, asking, that's called disciples' grace. And we're all miniature Shivas. And so one of the functions of Shiva is grace bestowal. So when I meditate, I'm bestowing grace. I'm giving I'm participating in my own redemption, if you will. Maybe the word redemption doesn't work for you, but my own liberation. And I give myself the grace through these things. But the easiest thing is, and if we have time, we'll do a little chakra meditation, which might involve this, but it's what you do is in what I do. So I meet a lot of people. I'm in, a New Yorker and teacher and everything. So if I'm walking down the street and there's a lady with a carriage, and there's a guy on a bicycle, and there's a delivery man, and there's a worker, what I do is I pour love and well-wishing. So if you can't get in touch with the feeling of love, just say, I hope you're wealthy, healthy, and wise. I hope your kids are successful. You know, I hope, because that's what we who have kids want, and I hope you get money, you know, things people want, and you just wish well the people around you. And the Shakti likes this. Okay. So even if it's not an innate quality of mine to do this stuff, since I want to feel the Shakti, I start doing these emotional or, you know, heart gestures of awareness. Okay. Now, I'm a hatha yoga teacher. There are physical gestures, right, that we make, or physical postures, but you got to link that what you're trying to do is learn how to do the subtle posture, okay, or the subtle mental gesture, like a mudra we do with our hand. We need to do the mudra with our consciousness. That's what you're supposed to be supporting with mudras and asanas, right? So what you do is you love the people, that because that's where the rubber meets the road in love. It's so easy to feel one with the universe when you're looking at the mountains and the ocean and the, you know, the big Grand Canyon. But when you see people across from you on the train, you know, you have to see God there, to love nature as humanity, right? Seems that when I do that, the Shakti leaps, you know. So I have to do those emotional gestures to keep the current flowing. So I'll pretty much do whatever I have to do, like any degenerate drug addict, to keep that current going. But so that's my way of integrating the Shakti. Baba said, "See God in each other," and I noticed, and I had mentioned that to Larry and Mark, that not everyone did that who was even doing years of sadhana. This is a thing you got to do. Okay, you got to leap past. You know what? We're in the Olympics of love on the plane of the earth, because to make it here and to love in spite of the appearance of duality on this plane, this is the NFL, man. Because look at what we have with the incredible appearance of difference that we have, especially now in our culture, the Maya Shakti. You're that political idea, and I'm over here, and I can't stand the way you are, and you can't stand me. And to be able to love and to have compassion through that appearance. So if you want to really work the muscle, think when you're thinking about the political figure you can't stand. I bet there is one on either side. All you do, you try to wish well, love, have compassion, release your hostility, you know, and you'll find that your Kundalini, she doesn't care what language you speak or what chant you make or you know, anything. The flow of the recognition of our oneness is she will dig it, and you'll continue to have the flow of that power all the time.